9 years, huh?
Oh. Got everybody in. All right.
Why don't you start? Well, I'll actually just throw it to you.
Okay.
I saw 5 seconds of variance. I got there right here, so you could.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he. Yeah.
I got a couple things.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello from University of Phoenix Stadium. Rich Gray alongside Bob Kemp and Ed Cole, NBCSports1060.com. Well, as great as the regular season was for the Cardinals, 13 wins, it ends with a dud in pretty disappointing fashion. And Bruce Arians, Ed, he was very disgusted after the game.
Very disgusted. He said they had a bad week of practice. I don't know where that came from. We talked to Gerard Powers, Justin Bethel, Patrick Peterson about it, but they had a bad week of practice, which translated to a loss. He said they didn't lose the game on the field today. They lost it Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in practice over in Tempe.
BA also added that this might serve as a good wake-up call for the Cardinals. What did you see out there today, Bob?
Well, the first thing is that Seattle's got 5 starters out of this game. They weren't even here. There's 2 best offensive linemen did not play. Even with that going on, the Cardinals
Cam Chancellor out.
Yeah, Cardinals had 0 pass rush. I mean, they never got close until it really didn't make any difference. And they just got their asses kicked basically from the start. And I thought Palmer was off from the start too. I mean, his accuracy and the first interception. I'm not sure if it was one of 2 things. Originally, I thought it was that Fitzgerald got knocked off the route, but then they got in J.J. Nelson's face in the sidelines after that, so I'm guessing that he ran the wrong route again. And this is week 16. This shouldn't be happening anymore.
Right.
I don't care if he's a rookie or not. So I'm guessing that that's actually what happened. Even though Fitzgerald did get knocked off the route, and probably should have been a penalty, but they didn't seem to be upset with him. They seemed to be upset with Nelson at that point. So, like I said, that can't be happening at this point. And really, the other thing, I think there's a reason for concern about Jared Valdir. I mean, he has really struggled in some of these games, and he got his butt handed to him today. Whether it was Irvin or Averill or there are a couple other guys, they were rotating. He had a rough time, and he's had 3 or 4 games this year. Now, he set quite a high standard last year. Let's point that out. He was terrific, but he hasn't been. I don't know if it might be going too far to say he hasn't been close to that level, but he certainly had some games where, it's not playing at the level you would expect him to play, and that can't happen from here on out because there's going to be pretty much no matter who they play, they're going to be playing some elite pass rushers from here on out.
Special teams also a big problem. There was one point in the game where Tyler Lockett had more yards in punt returns than the Cardinals had yards on offense.
He had 138 on 3 punt returns, and the tackling was poor. That actually hasn't been a problem this year. Punt returns, not kickoff returns. They've had some serious problems with that if Catanzaro doesn't get a touchback. So I was pretty surprised about that. I assume they were surprised about the punt coverage today.
And Justin Bethel also had a rough day out there trying to cover.
Well, they did a couple things. I think that there's no question that teams are going to attack Justin Bethel, and the Cardinals did make a move after that. He was basically benched. He wasn't the starting corner on the outside. The only time he was in the game after the second touchdown he allowed was as a nickel back or a dime back. They had Powers on the outside, which they don't want to do. They had Jefferson in the slot, which they don't want to do. And this is obviously all because of the Matthew injury. And Bethel was just basically the extra guy out there from that point on. And they've talked up Bethel for literally 2 years. And I watched training camp practices. I watched the play preseason. I just don't get it. And teams are going after him. The other thing is that Kevin Minter's getting trashed in coverage, and they're trying to. He's not out there in passing downs. They got Witherspoon out there, and Minter's snap count is going down every week in percentage of plays, and that's been going on for about 5-6 weeks now. But the Seahawks were very smart, and they went after him on first down. In a number of those passes, whether the backs, the fullback for the touchdown, one of the touchdowns for the play that set up a touchdown, a tight end, those were both on Minter. And then there was the play that went to the 2-yard line down here in the first or second drive was Buchanan and Minter were confused as to who to cover, and neither of them did. So that's another area. That's been a problem really for 2 years as far as Minter covering guys. So, but they've had Witherspoon out there more and more, so they're trying to compensate for that. But if teams are throwing on first down, which they should if he's on the field, he's out there then.
Despite all of this, despite all of the doom and gloom. Oh, yeah. Forgot about
Yeah.
that.
I just walked in on the middle of that. The coach is not happy with his kicker.
No, I mean, you miss an extra point, then you miss the 52-yard. I know 52 yards, none of us could make that. But that's still difficult. But for him to miss his 5th extra point this season, that's not good.
Yeah, he seems to have taken care of the touchback situation now. But, yeah, if you go back about, I'd say, since the first quarter of the season, it's either been a touchback issue or an extra point issue of consistency.
Right,
and
because he can hit field goals. He's hit like 19 in a row, but
he
it's extra points and touchbacks, you're right.
Yeah, he really hasn't been nearly as good as he was last year either. And that started in training camp.
And we know how important special teams are in the playoffs. You've got to be able to hit those extra points and field goals because they're all going to be tight.
BA even added that he'll be holding his breath in the playoffs when it comes to extra points now. But speaking of the playoffs, the Cardinals do get the number 2 seed. They're still going to have that first round bye. They're going to have a week to try to correct and get on page. BA called it a wake-up call. Do you kind of see it as a wake-up call for this team?
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, the poll question in just a few moments is going to be, what's this poll question say, Ed? You're trying to read my writing?
Yeah, I tried to read that scratch.
Now let me try to read my
concern or no
here.
concern?
Reason for concern or no big deal. So tune in tomorrow and we'll answer that question. How's that for a tease?
That's a pretty good tease.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could be.
Also tune in tomorrow and you can hear Todd Graham say the word proud 15 times in a 15-minute post game. We're not going to play the whole thing, but trust me, I counted them 15 times.
It was a pretty rough weekend here in Valley, sports-wise.
Yes.
Especially if you're a Notre Dame fan.
I knew that was coming with the Ohio State. Yeah, not good.
Didn't work out too well.
Right here.
That's why I wasn't here.
Yeah. How'd that go?
I've seen Ohio State crush Notre Dame.
He owes me a lunch. Yes.
Could have paid up here.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad I didn't see him today. Give me the free lunch.
Free media food.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Any close?
About that, so I need to avoid him in the playoffs until, see if I can collect it in like March or something.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Ed?
I mean, it's a game you throw in the trash, really. You have to get back to work because, you've got three days of practice, 3 days of early practices this week. You've got to bye. You've got some time to relax and rest some guys. Like you said, Bob, 16 guys on the injury report this week. You've got to get some guys rested.
Yeah,
yes.
I think that starts the week off badly anyway. You got 16 guys who are either limited out or, just kind of hanging around. So I think that's just a bad way to start the week.
Yes.
It's not necessarily anybody's fault, but that's a
17-week season. People get hurt.
Yeah, I'm not real good at math, but that's like a third of the roster.
It is.
If you count
16 of a 53-man roster.
If you count the practice squad guys.
Yep.
So that's difficult.
But basically, just throw the game away and just get prepared for whoever your next opponent is going to be.
Bob, what else should we expect in the Sports Zone tomorrow?
Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Walked into that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, okay. No, well, actually, obviously, a lot going on the weekend. We'll have a little less on this than usual. I'm not going to get any 10-minute detailed analysis of this game tomorrow, but we'll certainly have the locker room sound. You'll hear how upset Bruce Arians was. You'll hear Palmer talk about the situation. Who else we got?
Fitz was he used the term "asses kick" like you did.
All right. Great minds.
Are you going to bleep it out? Are you going to bleep it out? No.
There's some deep analysis there. Asses kicked. Yes.
And Bruce used some other choice words today. We can't put that on the air.
Yes.
We'll bleep that out.
The bleep fest. So they'll have that. Also, plenty on ASU from last night. ASU U of A basketball from today, and Bobby Hurley got run at the end of the game too. A lot of unhappy people here in the Valley. Yeah. And we'll have some segment on Ohio State and Notre Dame from what the heck day was that? Friday. It's a long week, folks. So we'll the NFL playoffs and
Suns gave up 142 points.
At 40 in 9 minutes. That's difficult to do. Yeah. So they play tonight against the Lakers. We're taping this before they play tonight, not to confuse anybody. So what do we got in the over/under for Kobe tonight?
30? Suns don't play defense, so
Yeah.
I mean, he still has to put it in the hole, though. So,
yeah, that's true. But
yeah, okay.
all right, so
All that tomorrow.
for Bob Kemp, for Ed Cole, it's been another Cardinals report. We'll be back with our next Cardinals report in the postseason. A couple weeks from now, after the first round bye here.
Out here, the Ohio State.
Yeah. They know. They're aware, Bob. For Bob and Ed.
Showed up for 2 games this year.
I'm Rich Gray, NBC Sports 1060.com. Go.